We got
Sometimes
it.
the Oregon lady, yeah. Sometimes she's early, sometimes she's late, but she shows up. That's the bottom line, baby. The organist, she shows up to play that beautiful music to get us ready to talk some Major League Baseball on the day. We mentioned some really intriguing series. Hey, the Yankees, they're probably really glad to get out of the south side of Chicago, but now they got to go to the north side and take on the Cubbies. Is this just a nightmare trip that's playing out? I know, like, first city, second city, all those sort of things. Maybe Chicago's trying to show New York and one-up them a little bit, and it might continue in the north side.
Well, this is, again, as far as travel goes, you don't have to worry about changing hotels. That's the nice thing. You're there for a week. You're all set up. We're good to go. Honestly, Dave, this was always a trip when I was with the Indians because we used to stay down on the Miracle Mile there, if you will. A lot of the wives and girlfriends would want to come on the trip because it's insane shopping, right? So we'd have a couple of the multi-millionaire guys looking at me like, it's going to be an expensive trip. I can already feel it. Just looking at where it's at. Now, as far as the expense of winning, yeah, the Yankees are in the fight, all right? And credit where it's due. White Sox were outstanding again yesterday in getting that walk-off win, and they have really acquitted themselves quite well. Now you face a Cubs team coming home with momentum after their own extra inning win there against St. Louis, and they've got to feel pretty good. Remember, Taylor McGregor told us yesterday, Shota Imanaga was due to start yesterday, but they wanted to push him back to face the Yankees today. So 2:20 Eastern first pitch. Dave, as I'm looking at some of the breakdown here, I would say that the Cubs would be the side that I would want to get to. I would like to see lineups first just because on the other side, it is going to be Will Warren, who's going the right-hander for the Yankees. More importantly, I'd like to see what the Yankee lineup is against Imanaga and how Aaron Boone's going to run it out. We're pretty sure business as usual for Craig Counsell and the Cubs today. So that's the side that I would go to. The total I'm not as convinced with, and I haven't checked the weather yet to see if we got wind blowing in or out. It may not matter, just knowing that Imanaga can give up homers with the best of them. So total at 9, no conviction for me on that. But initially, without seeing lineups, I would lean toward the Cubs side right now.
Put on your GM hat very quickly, because we've talked a lot, obviously, about Tarek Skubal and where he might go. The Yankees are not really involved in that. But the Will Warren side, would he be the type of guy that they would try to package in a deal to get more hitting? Would he be? Could this, not that it's a major shock to Yankee backers out there if Will Warren was to be moved, but could this be the last time we see him? That would be the type of player they might do in a bigger deal to get some offense back.
I would anticipate more prospects than major league ready guys. That being said, it would all depend on the player that Brian Cashman was going for offensively. If you can avoid giving up young, controllable starting pitching, it is the most precious and expensive commodity on the trade market year in and year out, Dave. So it is, if you're dealing that, you're getting like a Skubal back. Okay. That's the kind of echelon that you would be in. So rarely do you see it. You might see it this year from Seattle, though, whether it's Emerson Hancock, young, controllable starting pitcher, Luis Castillo, veteran, that they have an area of strength where they have too many starters. And I know it's weird to say in our day and age of injuries and arm issues, but Seattle better positioned, in my opinion, to your question of being able to deal something like that out of their starting pitching resources. The Yankees have had so many injuries already to Fried, to Rodon, to Clark Schmidt, Cole just coming back from injury. I don't think they would want to shortchange, Rob Peter to pay Paul there. I think that they will keep their rotation intact as is.
Very interesting. Got to ask you about this matchup because Hunter Green is back for the Reds today. Going to get the start against Paul Skeens and the Buccos. Total sitting at 8. That could be, Great American Small Park, because you would think that'd be about a 7.5. But it is Green, and we haven't seen him in forever here, Jensen. Boy, if you said for next year in the Cy Young, you might look at these two guys and say with full off seasons, get back to being right. These could be two short guys in the pricing market here for Cy Young next year. What do you make of today's matchup with Green coming back against Paul Skeens?
This one kind of feels like an underplay, right? Just kind of knowing the pedigree. And Hunter Green is a name that has surfaced in the trade rumors here the last 24 to
Whoa.
48 hours. I can't remember if it was John Morosi or Ken Rosenthal. Maybe it was a combination of both those guys reporting. Buster Olney might have been talking about it as well. So when you get multiple insiders that are mentioning the name, period, that is one to kind of put a pin in if indeed this is the final start for Hunter Greene in a Cincinnati Red uniform. Now, as the game pertains today, you are right about the conditions there. 6:10 start at Great American Ballpark. The numbers kind of screaming a little more contrarian play here, Dave, but the total has been on the move in the last couple of hours. It has gone up from 7.5 to 8 in some spots. I think if you can find it, I'd actually kind of play a little contrarian under here. And knowing that you can still get some offense from the Pittsburgh side, the Reds have just been so dismal in offensive production. If scoring is going to happen, it kind of feels a little more one-sided on the Pittsburgh side, but I could see some run suppression here. Not often do you see a part of a bet here that you want to take where there are fewer bets, or there's only about 41% of money here on the under 8. I would actually kind of look towards a contrarian under where more people are kind of working with that total move. I actually kind of like getting the half run. If you can find 8s out there, I might go to the under in that game. Because on paper, Dave, Hunter Greene, Paul Skeens, we should have run suppression here, but I can understand the ballpark playing a little bit more havoc and seeing where this Pittsburgh offense has been more elite this year.
Boy, that is shocking. If Hunter Greene's really on the block here, coming back to make this start today, that could be a real difference maker for a team out there if he is in fact on the move. White Sox and Rays, all of a sudden, very intriguing matchup that we're going to have down there in the Trop for the weekend series here. What do you make of this? Because I know the White Sox, it's emotional coming back, beating the Yankees the way they did, kind of feel like you belong again. I think they always felt like they belonged. But then you get another test against arguably the better team in the AL East.
We get a push on our 3-unit play yesterday, too. Gosh, I was how many times did the bases loaded? I'm sitting there. You were talking about it, too. Like
a million of them.
The first play I saw it, I'm like, boom, we get an opener. We get a bullpen day. This is tailor-made for the Rays. And they left a small village on the base paths. I'm like, this should have been a rocking chair winner, but that's okay. Let's go back to the well here. I think, and again, I'll wait for lineups to come out before we jump in on this particular game. But I think we just go right back to the Rays. They're one of the best teams as a home favorite. Dave, you get Nick Martinez against Eric Fetty. Not a ton of swing and miss from Fetty here, so the right-hander should be okay for the Rays lineup. You're looking at Aranda as left-hander. Cedric Mullins, by the way, tip of the cap. You respect our hard-earned money with that opposite field go-ahead home run in the 8th inning.
Yes.
I kind of like where this sets up. I don't think we get cute here. I think Rays money line probably the play in this matchup.
Very quickly, one other matchup I wanted to talk about. The Red Sox and Dodgers going to get ready to go in Chavez Ravine tonight here. Feel-good story's been the Red Sox, and I know the Dodgers are still the team to beat. I know you don't want to say just one of 162, but you do have to kind of feel like if you're the Sox, nice comeback win against the A's yesterday, you want to keep those good vibes going.
I agree. Nothing that really jumps out. Again, we get Ranger Suarez and we get Edgardo Enriquez, who I think is going to get the start here for the LA Dodgers. Nothing that's really popping for me with my numbers at this point. If you're looking for a value side, I think maybe the Dodgers would be the lean, but nothing convincing. Let's let this one play out. Usually this stuff can kind of surface later in the afternoon where we start to see some movement. But hey, not saying it's a potential World Series preview because Boston's still got a long way to go. Yeah. But this is definitely a Dodger club that's going to try and contend with a very hot baseball team.
At least a Mookie Betts series begins tonight in Chavez Ravine. That's for sure. All right, when we come back, CJ Nikowski is going to join the program. Always great catching up with CJ. Talk all things Braves. Are they really in it for Tarek Skubal? And also, we're going to have Lou Finicaro join us talking all things UFC Belgrade. Big hour straight ahead right here. VSiN by the Books.